Hey, Shannon Elf, did you know that 53% of a group surveyed by Harrison Partners is afraid of Christmas this year? It's causing anxiety and fear, and they don't know how they're going to afford it. Can we help them, Shannon Elf? Anxiety at Christmas? No, that won't do. Please, Shannon, show them what to do before they're totally screwed. Hi, welcome back to Broke Not Broken. I'm Shannon, and I'm going to help you save your Christmas, save some money, put that money into something you want to do instead of something you have to do. Now, Christmas is one of those things that you can either spend a lot of money, like the Christmases of the 90s, where you'd wake up and Santa would have filled the living room with what only resembles Toys R Us. Now, with the current climate of the finances, it's a little bit harder. People are losing jobs, inflation, shrinkflation, tent cities, lack of housing, you name it. It's all hitting us pretty hard as Canadians. Now, as a low-income family of 5, I have the ability to find money where there isn't any, and I'm going to help you save your Christmas. Now, in doing this video, I did some research from Stats Canada, and I was shocked at the money that other people make. Now, the the household income numbers I read for a family of 4, now this was the median, was $106,400 before taxes. Now, I did a 20% tax rule because I hate coming up with money for the government at the end of the year. So it equates to $85,040. I feel like that's a lot of money. Now, this is coast to coast. This isn't just regional for Ontario. So there's that. My family in itself, now if I can find my page, worked out to $80,000 before taxes and $65,000 after taxes. And we are a family of 5. We go without nothing. We always have fresh fruit and vegetables. And Christmas is always a big deal in this house. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks in here on how I do it. What if I told you that a loaf of bread coast to coast ranges from $2.50 to $5? It does. I looked it up. So depending on your region, one loaf of bread could cost you $5. The average family of 5 eats 2 to 4 loaves of bread a week. That's a lot of money hucked out. What if I told you could make a loaf of bread for 50 cents a loaf? There's 12 slices in a loaf, no different than buying from the store. I will link an easy vegan recipe to this for you guys, and here's me making it. I make 2 loaves at a time. It only requires 3 cups of flour, and it's very quick. You let it rest for an hour till it rises and double. You move it to a pan, let it rest, let it rise, bake it for 30 minutes. You can do that while you're watching a Hallmark movie. That means you're saving. If you made this version, it would cost you $2 a week for 4 loaves. Now, I took the lower number of the loaves. I said the $2.50 version. That would be $10 a week of the store-bought loaves. You would save $8 a week. Now, you have 4 shopping weeks, really, until Christmas. So 4 times 8 is what? That's part of a stocking. Let's talk about school milk programs. Yep, we have them at my school. It's $1.75 per little carton. Now, I can buy bagged milk ranging from $6.30 at Shoppers Drug Mart to $7.99 at the store across the road. Now, I took the larger number and did the math on this. 1 cup of milk from The store-bought one is 47 cents at $7.99. There are 16.9 cups in that bag. Now that equates to $2.35 for 1 cup serving per day for 1 child. The school cost would be $8.75. The differential would be $6.40. Now you do the math on that, times it by 4 weeks. And if you have more than 1 child that drinks milk from the milk program, that's a lot more money. Don't even get me into pizza days and stuff like that. $6 for pizza days when you can buy a frozen pizza for $2 at a discount grocery store. Cook it up. It makes 8 slices. Again, it's super cheap, super easy. Your kid's still getting a hot lunch or a cooled lunch. My children prefer cold pizza in their lunch, and it's saving you dollars. This one's for my coffee drinkers. I'm sorry. We're going to do the latte effect here. Now, coffee at Tim Hortons changes via store. So in my area, it's $2.07 for a large. And when I was working as a community PSW, I was drinking 2 a day. That equates to $4.14 per day. Now, if you did that over 5 days, that's $20.70. Now, in my house, we drink Maxwell House, and I buy the bigger can. It has 20 pots in it per can. So this is how I did the math, guys. Where is it? Maxwell House. The cost of it is $19 to $25, not on sale. It equates to $1.25 per pot or 10 cents per cup at 12 cups. It works out to $6.25 a week. And you're getting a pot of coffee every day. Now, what I used to do is put it in a giant thermos, like a big one. I would have a carry mug and I would have one with me on the road. So I didn't have to spend money just for a hot drink while I was driving in between clients. Okay, ladies and gents, I am going to mess with your merriment and cheer. For those of you who are complaining about the cost of Christmas, but you're going out and buying drinks after hockey or going to game nights and you're going to a pub, that's where your money's going. If that's what you like, cool. But you're taking away from another area where you could be purchasing, say, a stocking stuffer or whatever. Now, a 6-pack of Canadian cans, tall boys, is $16. For at home, that works out to $2.66 per can. Tall boys at a restaurant, now that's where it ranges. So I use the lower range, is $7 each. Times by 6 is 42. So for those gentlemen and ladies that like game nights, you could be saving $26 by watching the game at home and buying the 6-pack. Swaps with your friends are a great way to cut down on your baking costs. Giving everybody a Christmas gift. I mean, everybody. I have friends that give the postmaster a gift, give the Amazon delivery guy a gift, give everybody a gift, and then complain that they have no money. Stop it. Give them a nice card. They don't need a $25 gift card or 75 boxes of chocolates. A card says you thought of them. Especially in this day and age when everything is so expensive. I read an article that stated that people were going with smaller turkeys, smaller foods, smaller. Now, first of all, if a free-range turkey is your jam, I'm not going to, sneeze on your Christmas parade here. However, One year, I let my husband buy a free range bird, and that bird cost me $125. It tasted no different than the frozen bird. Hate to tell you. And the $18 bird saved me the difference. So it's all about priorities. If that's your jam, you go that way. What I would be stocking up on right now are the fruits and vegetables. So oranges, specifically clementines and mandarins, are in season. They're cheap, and there's a lot of them. Apples are cheap right now, as well as carrots, onions, potatoes. Very cheap. I got carrots for 97 cents a pound yesterday. Just an example. You don't, and I'm not buying organic, but if that's your thing, just know that you're paying premium prices. In this house, I don't buy anything I can't make. I don't buy the things that I can make. Sorry, I misspoke. So the whole bakery section, I don't visit it. Veggie trays. Why are you paying $22 to $25 for a veggie tray when you can buy the vegetables, make the tray, and it's simpler, it's easier, you get what you want. That way, if you don't like broccoli, you don't have to have it, and you're stopping food waste. Now, I read an article just recently that said that the food banks and the, what are they calling it, a hamper from the food banks, the need for them has risen. But here's the thing, home economics was not taught when I was in high school. They stopped that in the 90s in Canada, and unfortunately, it would benefit people right now if they knew how to do X, Y, and Z and stretch their dollars. At this point in the game, I honestly feel like I have a PhD in this because I've been doing it so long. It just comes naturally to me. And a friend of mine actually pushed me to do this video because she was so badly in debt at one point that she was absolutely afraid that she was going to lose her home. And because of these little tips and tricks, she was able to get out of that debt and not lose anything other than the debt. Now, if you live in a cold climate like I do, I turn my heat off during the day. I'm here by myself. The kids aren't here. If it's cool in here, I put on layers. I can always take them off. I use my south-facing windows to heat my living room during the day. I close up the curtains at night so that there's no seeping of heat through my windows as they're old. I also have plastic on a lot of my windows to prevent that energy loss. If your hydro company currently offers point of use delivery service, so after 7 and before 7 in the morning, utilize it to do your laundry. Use that time to heat your house in the morning. If you don't have a fireplace, I would love to have one. Just don't have space for it right now. I put extra quilts, duvets, etc. on beds. We always have throws. I occasionally wear a hat in the house. I use layering a lot to keep the heat cost down because I do have propane and it does run off hydro for the blower. So it's a combination of 2 bills instead of one in the new year, and I try to keep it as low as possible, comfortably low. Okay, as far as water bills and hydro bills combined, okay, this is where it gets fun. I only do laundry when things are actually dirty. So if the kids put on a shirt for 20 minutes and throw it in the laundry, it gets folded up, put back, and they can wear it another day. That saves me on 3 things: laundry soap, water, and hydro. 5-minute showers are a thing in my house. The boys, don't need to be in there for 25 minutes running the hot water. It's 5 minutes in and out. You know, if you're taking longer than that, you're just messing around, to be honest. And it seems to save us a lot. Uh, Unless you're visibly really dirty, there's no reason to take longer than that. We utilize ambient light like candles. Candles throw heat into a small space. Like I've said on plenty of videos, we live in 750 square feet. My house is total, size wise, it's 900 square feet. There is no basement. We utilize throw rugs on the floor because we have laminate flooring and it gets really cold in the winter, as we have a crawl space and the wind tends to go under the house until we get like a packed snow around it. Making my own laundry soap. There is an older video on that. Saves me hundreds of dollars a year. I can make 400 loads of laundry soap for $1. So there's that. Water bottles into beds as bed warmers on the colder nights is one way I stop the heat from the heat cost from rising in my house. Now, if you guys haven't worked on a budget or haven't used a budget, you need to know exactly how much money you have and your flexibility with that money. So if you have bills that are set bills, such as your land taxes, your insurance, you know exactly how much you owe. But hydro, water, and say propane are flex bills. So you can actually adjust it so you save on those bills by doing those little hacks I gave ahead of time. I also read somewhere that the average cost for groceries is about $1,500 a month for a family of four. I have never spent more than $300 in groceries per month in my entire life. And it's probably because I'm so frugal. I refuse to pay full price for anything, and I buy extra and I use coupons at stores for things that I use on a regular basis. We don't travel unnecessarily. So if I'm leaving the house, I'm doing a full route. I'm going to the post office, I'm going to the store, I'm picking up pet food. I'm doing all the errands in one route. Not only that, I always gas up my car as soon as it hits half a tank. That way I'm not filling up my car when prices are really, really high. Eliminate frivolous spending. And what I mean by this is, are you paying somebody to put your Christmas lights up and you're more than capable of wrapping them around your, I don't know, railing? That's frivolous. Are you capable of shoveling your deck, but you're paying somebody to do it? Again, unless you have a heart condition, you can probably remove your own snow. I have a thing called a snow pitch. It's electric. I just plug it in and I do it that way, or the old-fashioned way with a shovel. Pay for a housekeeper or a maid service. That's another thing that is not an expense in my life. I have worked as a housekeeper or maid in some pretty big homes, and I can do it myself. I don't need to pay somebody else to come in and fold my laundry or make my bed. I'm more than capable of doing that. We only replace things when they're broken beyond repair, or I cannot find a way to repurpose it. Example of this was the only new things in my house really that I have purchased in the last 10 years are my appliances that were purchased in 2017, only because one element in my stove worked and my fridge door fell off. But had that not happened, I would have just duct taped it together and continued on until I could afford a new fridge or stove, etc. Hand-me-downs from friends and family. I haven't bought a winter jacket in probably 2 decades. I haven't bought shoes in probably 5 years. Most of my footwear was my nephew's at some point, and because his feet grew, I received his hand-me-downs that were gently worn or not at all. and I get a lot of hand-me-downs from my sister. The only clothing I purchase for myself are my undergarments and socks. And at Christmas time, that's when I get new clothing, generally speaking, a sweater or something from the kids. My children all wear hand-me-downs at Christmas and birthdays. They get, new sweaters, new coats, whatever it is that they want new for clothing, as well as their underwear and socks are theirs. I learned over the years that putting dish soap in a pump bottle saves my Dawn dish soap, because I have little rascals that think that you need, half the bottle to do a load of dishes, and I it tends to run out very quickly. So it's one pump and go for dishes, and it makes my bottles last a lot longer. So we don't pay other people to come in and clean our eavesdrops or cut our lawn or paint the fence. We don't pay for those things. We do them ourselves, or we know somebody that can, say, put an eavesdrop back up, or, you know, cut something for me. We have friends and family that will graciously come and help. I hope this video helped you out, but before we go, Shanna Elf has a message for everyone. But first, Shanna Elf story time. Before you go out walking into a winter wonderland with your 3 wassailing friends who may or may not be buying everything but a partridge in a pear tree, as they go a-charging into the stores like Dasher and Dancer and Vixen, crashing into those Black Friday specials and red light specials that are so hot they will melt your marshmallows, and so shiny and bright that Rudolph himself is thinking, heck yeah, my jingle bells need an upgrade, and my boughs of holly have not fa-la-la-la-la'd in years. So Rudolph takes himself to the most expensive and biggest store he can find and speaks to a nice sugar plum fairy who sells him a few of her favorite things, including whiskers on kittens and warm woolen mittens. Before Rudolph has even drank his 6 loaded eggnog at $15 a pop, he is charged $4,000 on his Candy Cane Lane card in presents. Now, if that doesn't make Rudolph's sleigh bells ring, clearly he wasn't listening. Rudolph proceeded to the Silent Night Club, where he continued charging his holiday spirit to his Candy Cane Lane card, blissfully unaware that with every swipe he was charging away the rights to a calm and bright Christmas and a happy New Year. Rudolph wanted so badly to be adored, and he wanted to bring joy and cheer. So in that shopping frenzy, he brought back a transport chock full of toys. Now Rudolph is forlorn and up to his antlers in debt. He should have followed Santa's example, make a list, checked it twice, but he didn't. He shopped to the beat of Little Drummer Boy. No rhyme, no reason. 'Tis the season, you know. So that's how the Sugar Plum Fairy danced in his head, manipulating him to buy the dream instead. Now the Marshmallow Man is pounding on Rudolph's gumdrop door with a repossession notice for his gingerbread furniture and even his hardwood floor. There's notices from the gremlins for the new year that if he doesn't clear his debts, they're coming to inflict fear. With a snap of a finger, Rudolph awakes from his nap. What a nightmare that was, he thinks to himself. He gets down his budget binder and makes himself a list, and budgets that aren't so scary he labels and he lists. He even covers his friend Harry. He covers his bills on his gingerbread house, even his groceries, because he doesn't eat like a mouse. He makes sure to cover the cost of his Yule logs, as he hates the thought of freezing due to foresight. Rudolph learned that a budget protects his merriment and cheer. Had he not had that horrible dream, his future wouldn't be so clear. He can enter the new year not fearing his transactions, as he kept the marshmallow man and gremlins away from his house. With the power of cash, he buys with delight, no debt collectors to fill him with fright. So, in the words of Rudolph, yippee ki yay, mother trucker, and have a good night.